How do, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Who have we got in the chat? We've got Jewel Knight Jess. Oh, she missed the thread again. I post every week, Jess. You know this. We've got Ray. We've got Bryn. So far. So, first of all, what has everyone been up to this week? Well, that's what I'm going to show you guys. But what have we been up to? Not a lot.
Like me now.
Lucy hasn't done anything. She's done a tiny bit of painting yesterday and today. Tiny bits of Dark Artisan bites for me. I, however, did quite a long live stream during the week, and I got painted up, or at least base coat, the Turax Assault Drill, which is going to be used for that mech, but can double for Blood Angels and Death Watch. I also got all of this Tau base coated, all of it. And today, unfortunately, I don't have photos, but I pin washed the entire lot of it, apart from the Narlocks, because they need washing with Drakenhof Nightshade. And I converted this girl up, Commander Shadow Sun, in a Ghost Keel. So I'm looking forward to painting that. So that's what we've been up to.
I finished a unit of protectors.
Yes, you did actually, because you half did them last week, didn't you? And Lucy's finished them off. So not loads for us this week, but we've been busy doing other things. I think I've played 2 games this week.
Craig, no.
No, just played Craig, Knights versus Necrons, which is already available to Patreons. So of course, if you are a Patreon, you can go and watch that now rather than wait until next week. Which, Ray, you're going to have to let me know if you've already watched it. But a fantastic game. It was Craig's birthday, and he come round, and of course we played a game of Robot Wars. We've got Stuart Bell in the chat. Welcome, Stewie. Hope you're doing well. And of course, if you would like to support us on Patreon, you can do for as little as $1 a month, which is about 70 pence, I think. And of course, you get flung into the group chat for all the other Patreons.
Don't do
it. I'm still re-updating the Excel document with all of the painted miniatures in so that you guys can pick the battle reports, but there is an older one on there from a couple of months back, but obviously we painted a lot in the last few months, so that needs updating, but it is there. And of course, remember, please guys, go and check out Battle Bunker for some awesome discounts on all sorts of hobby products. Races, haven't watched it yet, will do after work. Nice one. So, without further ado, let's see what you guys have been up to. So first up, we've got Bazza from Underdog Painting. He started yet another army. Really, he started another army. He started his orcs for Kill Team. So we've got a squad of boys here. I actually love the skin that he's got, because normally you see orcs are really, really bright or deep or rich green. Baz has gone for a very browny green, which is a lot more realistic than cartoony, and it really, really works. I absolutely love them Sector Mechanicus bases as well, Bazza. Anyone interested, go and follow Bazza on Facebook at Underdog Painting. He, of course, has a YouTube channel as well. Next up, we've got Ben Rolls. Ben paints all sorts of stuff, and I think he's probably the only guy on the planet that paints more than me. This guy was painted for, I believe, Saga. Not sure what it is, but it's a really cool model. He's running away, holding a book in the air. There's definitely something really important in that book. And Lucy loves this. So Astrea Soulbright on Dracolin. Absolutely beautiful work, mate. Absolutely love the bright pink scales that you've got on that. You've still got yours to paint.
I know.
And it's right behind us, and we'll probably get that done for next week.
Hopefully.
Fire Striker's out next week as well, Lucy.
Oh, is that the bigger one?
The Tauralon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, more money, but
yeah. Bryn has done another unit of Nomadic Thralls. That takes Bryn to just under 2,000 points. And if I can get 10 more Witch Elves, well, 11 because I lost one, Witch Elves painted up, it's going to be Elves versus Elves very soon.
And Elves versus Tree People, Elves versus Stormcast, Elves versus everything.
There's lots of elves.
Yeah.
I did actually use the Daughters of King against Lucy last week. Afterwards, I realised I have made a few mistakes.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it turns out as to whether or not that'll go up, but we definitely need a rematch of that. But I lost one of my snakes. Couldn't believe it, right? All of them in the bottom of the box. Double check Battle Bunker, and I lost one of the snakes. So I unfortunately went and bought another box.
Don't try to play the guilt trip. You get build more Dark Eldar. I think he's out as the best.
Well, no, I'm not. Because here we go. Look, she's ready to be painted because I need her because she's my battle line. I'm actually going to get Dylan to blue stuff me another body and snake thing because obviously I've got some more unbuilt now, which means I will actually have and can use a unit of 10. So yeah, that's the plan. Next up, we've got Daniel Blagden, who's been working on a Contemptor Dreadnought. This looks absolutely class, mate. I love how deep and rich the red is. It's either Word Bearers or Blood Angel, Flesh Tearers. It's one of the two, but I'm guessing probably Flesh Tearers. Absolutely love the base there, though. I think that's just like little. Is it just plastic card with bits of sand in between or clear? It looks really, really cool and kind of reminds me of me cobblestone bases from my Daughters of Cain. Next up, we've got Daniel Friedrichsen, big Blood Angel player, and Daniel has finally started on his Hellblasters. I absolutely love Hellblasters. However, I seriously advise against building 10 heavy ones. Not only did I realise that they're not as good in game, they were also horrible to build because of the backpacks and yeah, but Primaris Marines, absolutely fantastic. And apparently, the rumours are that the Space Wolf Codex is going for pre-order on the 25th of August. And apparently, we're getting Primaris Bikers, which could be good because let's face it, the old Space Marine bike. I remember playing with their bikes 20 years ago, Lucy. That's how old the bikes are. Next up, we've got Daniel Woodhouse, and he's been working on his Genestealer cult. I love these, Daniel. Yeah, the purple and a bit of green. I'm actually desperately trying to get mine done. I'm doing the tanks at work whilst painting other stuff at home. Once all my tanks have done with my green stuff, I'm going to actually airbrush all my tanks. But I've got 60 infantry to get through. And Genestealer cult infantry is very detailed. In fact, I tell a lie, I've not got 60. I'll have 30 because 20 of them are Cadians and they're already done.
He's got loads of detail on them. I love them.
The Genestealer cult models are absolutely phenomenal. The issue with them is they're like 4 and 5 points a model. So you know the Khorne Blood Reavers? Yeah, it's that all over again. So you remember the 40 that we pinned? It was like, oh yeah, there's like 240 points. Yeah, it's like that. But nevertheless, Daniel, your work is absolutely classmate, and I love the purples that you've got going on. Next up, we've got Dave Carlton, and he has painted a model for Saga.
Oh, wow.
Saga's very much, I think, don't quote me on this, I haven't looked into it, but it's very much kind of Viking, peasant-y type feel game. And this is Dave's Warlord. Absolutely love the, what's that type of dog called?
Could be any.
It's like a Scotty, but bigger. But yeah, this is great, mate. Absolutely love the shades of purple and the armor that you've got going on. And the detail in the eyes is fantastic. Next up, we've got Dazza Brain. Dazza painting anything and everything as ever. Really bright popping colours. And you know what, Dazza, your paint style really stands out. And if someone showed me like 10 pictures, I would go, that one's Dazza's. Because you're always on point with that bright purple, bright green and bright blue. And you know what? It really stands out and pops, mate. It's really nice work. But something a little bit darker and dingier, he's been working on his Death Corps of Krieg, which are essentially Imperial Guardsmen. Absolutely love the bases. Look, he's got more coffee stirrers than us. But you know what, mate? It works and it looks fantastic.
It does. It's awesome, that.
I love the weathering that you've got on the tanks there as well. And I'll be taking inspiration from that for when I come to do my Genestealer tanks. Next up, we've got Ian Minto. Ian's been working on all sorts of Death Guard this week. So, what have we got? Well, he's finished off that Hell Brute that we used in the battle report. He's got another 4 Plague Marines. He's got 2 characters, another drone. He's even got the Word Bearer, Contemptor Dreadnought character guy in the middle here, but we nurgled him up. And he's even got 6 more Poxwalkers on there. So hopefully next time Ian brings his Death Guard round, there'll be quite a varied list rather than he basically put together everything that he had and script together 1,700 points. So he's going to have a lot more choice now, and I look forward to taking them on again. Maybe he's not have as bad rolls with me, Eldar, next time. There we go. There's a close-up of a couple of the other characters. He's got that guy with a flamer as well. That flamer is horrendously good. Horrendously good. Fantastic work as ever, Ian. And I really look forward to seeing these on the table. Next up, we've got Jack from Outpost 31 down in Whitby. Jack has been painting up his, I can't remember what drone this is, but it's for Kill Team, and he's made the whole drone look incredibly battered and weathered like it is from an Underhive city. And I love the alien graffiti that he's got on there. That really, really makes it stand out. I think the joy of Kill Team that a lot of people are going to love is you probably only need around about 10 models. If you're like Imperial Guard or Jane Steel Cult, because they're worth less. Obviously, Space Marines will need even less models. I think a lot of people are going to put together some very, very unique kill teams. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with over the next few weeks. Let's jump back to the chat, see who we've got with us. We've got Mark Burton. Got no painting and minimal building done this week. It's all been Magic the Gathering in any little free time. So it was nothing from me this week. And then Daz has just joined us as well. What have I missed? Thanks for the love on the minis, mate. It means a lot. It really does look awesome though, Dazza, and it really, really pops and stands out. Next up, we've got James McHugh. James has been experimenting with his wash on white, and he put this together. Basically, sprayed the night white, and then he's washed it with Agrax and sepia mixed with Lamian medium. So I think he said it was 50% Lamian medium and 25% of the other colours. And he's just washed it over the entire model and then basically picked it back up with a white, and it looks so good. I think that is what the standard Tau colours are probably done in. But the whole colour scheme in general, James, looks awesome. The gold, really, really bright, but rustic and rich at the same time as well. And then we've got half a Redemptor. I'm laughing half a Redemptor, right? But look at the level of detail that James has got here. Look at the chipping that he's got on that knee pad. He's got the crisscross squares, the weathering coming all the way up the side, covering the feet. This level of detail and chipping, James, is absolutely unreal. And honestly, I don't know how you have the patience to hand paint all of these chips in there. Absolutely fantastic work, mate. Next up, we've got James Snow, who's been working on some Guardians for his Eldar kill team. Absolutely love the dark purple combined with the dark blue. Really, really kind of warm and rich feel to it, mate. So really, really good job. Next up, we've got Jez Andrews. Jez is an awesome painter. He's featured in White Dwarf quite a few times, and this is Horticulus Slimax, or at least Mulch, the snail. Absolutely love the work that he's done here, and believe it or not, right, he's actually built this up with pretty much washes.
Really?
Yep, washes on top of white pretty much. The snail was black. Sorry, the shell was black, and obviously all the top of it is black. But all of this here, around his face and in between all the creases and everything, washes. Really, really nice work. Look at the level of detail in the eyes. I love how the eyes are black, then red, then peachy, then yellow, then the black pupil, and then the white sheen on it as well. That's absolutely insane, Jess, but absolutely amazing stuff. Next up, we've got John Morton. John Morton has finished off his Imperial Knight Castellan this week. Saw this last week, obviously, with the lightning bolt. Very, very fantastic stuff there. It looks as though he's since put the glow here on the volcano lance and based it as well. And do you know what, mate? Wow.
It's amazing.
It is, isn't it? Absolutely love it. And I'm guessing this is going as a Renegade Knight to go with Night Lords. Absolutely fantastic work, mate. Them lightning bolts really pop out. And very fitting considering the thunderstorms we've had this week. Next up, we've got Kev Dudgeon, and Kev has been painting up some terrain. This is Dead Zone terrain. I do have some of it myself, but I haven't had the patience to be able to do what he's done here and paint all these different squares, actually crisscross them, which is fantastic stuff. So really nice work on that, Kev. He's also built a Watchmaster for his Death Watch, and he actually said that this head is Yondu.
Hey, God, it looks like him.
Really nice work there. I love how it's basically heavy thunder hammer, but then he's got the Xenophase blade on the end. Absolutely brilliant stuff there, mate. Next up, we've got Liam Suter. Liam has been working on his Militarum Tempestus for the Kill Team event that I'm actually running this Friday at Battle Bunker. There is an event up on Facebook, so if you go and join the Battle Bunker Gaming Club group, you can see it on there. If you turn up with a fully painted Kill Team, you can play for free. And basically, I'm going to try and organise 3 rounds. I'll be playing, even though I've never played before. So filming might be a little bit more difficult, but we'll see what we can get done. I'm hoping that we can have a good few guys down there and circulate between us so we can get 3 full rounds in with our kill teams. But yeah, you can see from this picture with Liam, he's obviously done all the insignia on the shoulder pads. He's magnetised every single guy, and the orange really pops and stands out. So really nice work there, Liam. Next up, we've got Michael Botterill, and Michael has pinned Lord Arcanum on Griff Charger.
Awesome, I love more Stormcast players.
Yeah, Michael, of course, been really finishing off his, I think these are Celestial Vindicators.
Yeah.
Is that them? That colour?
Sure.
I can't remember. But Michael actually said that this completes 1,250 points, and he actually had his first game with them on Tuesday against David Barnfather, who's Sylvanet we saw last week, which are fantastic as well. Michael absolutely smashes out of the park every week with painting. So if Lord Arcanum's not enough, he also did 2 plasma conduits. Conduits. Reactors. I absolutely loved painting mine. Such a simple piece of scenery and really, really nice to paint. And this is getting added to the Durham Raiders terrain collection that he also uses for the Company of Legends events, which are the 30k events that Michael runs. But if that's not enough terrain, he also painted the shrine that comes with the Admech, not the Admech, the Imperial Knights. Rules-wise, the piece of scenery I didn't think was great, which is why I didn't pick one up. But in addition to that, I also had all these parts anyway, so I didn't actually pick one of them up. But absolutely brilliant work, Michael. And you know what? Lucy painted this terrain with me. She painted our terrain, the second Mechanicus one. And in fairness, we painted 3 Shadow War boxes in one go, which is a lot. But the level of detail on that terrain, like you could spend weeks on it.
I wanted to, because it's the only thing that I can paint that like needs loads of detail, but doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, because it's terrain, so it doesn't need to be. My corn doesn't need to be perfect. You can paint my corn for me.
Oh, it burns my fingers.
And if that still isn't enough, the Riser Pattern Ruins. Lucy got me some of these for Christmas, and I never used them as ruins.
Nope, he used them as bases for his knights, which I think looks even better.
But it does look better.
Yep.
Yeah. So, of course, I've got my Castellan behind one, the Armitage of battling over the top of one of the others. But nevertheless, fantastic work as usual, Michael. Next up, we've got Paul Spuddy Shaw, and his Space Wolf Terminators are plodding on slowly, along with the Imperial Knights. He's done even more work on the one on the left there, and the one on the right is starting to come together as well. He's getting some of the gold and silvers done, and I look forward to seeing this whole army put together. Really nice work, Paul. And there we go. There's a close-up of the Terminators as well. I don't actually have any of these Terminators for my Blood Angels. I think these are Tartarus or Cataphractii, and I have one but not the other. I think these are the Cataphractii ones. I actually need to paint mine that were donated by Dylan, because me and Ian Minto, we're going to have a Terminator off battle report. Deathwing versus Blood Angels. Blood Angels will win, of course, because they are the true angels. Next up, we've got Peter Seamus, and Peter has been working on another one of his nice Warglaves. You can see the one that we've seen last week in the background there. He did actually leave a couple of comments about the red. Believe it or not, it is literally just Mephiston washed with Agrax and then highlighted up with Evil Suns, which is the same as what we do, but this looks so much brighter. Peter puts it down to the light, but I think he's probably underselling himself a little bit. But really nice work on the silver and gold there as well, Peter. Next up, we've got Sam. Sam Goodwin decided he fancied a crack at some Beast Claw Raiders and went for Not Snow. and it worked. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone for ginger fur and actually stone-coloured horns, and it looks amazing, mate. Even the augurs, the flesh that you've got on the augurs, very, very nice. The fur highlighted superbly. The weathering. Look at the horns on the top up here, man. Even the blend on them horns, Sam. That's.
Does he use an airbrush?
Yeah. Not all the time. He does a lot by hand,
Mm-hmm.
but fantastic work, Sam. Absolutely out of this world. There you go. You can see the fur as well. Very dark and brown here and more orange towards the back. Absolutely brilliant. Next up, we've got Scott Monaghan. Scott has been painting up some House Hawk Shroud Knights. Of course, the Valiant there in the middle, now complete, and he flanked by at least a Crusader, and I can't tell what this guy is on the side, and the Armiger. And he says he's just finishing the Helverin to make it a 1700 point list. And do you know what, mate? This looks absolutely great because yellow is such a hard colour to paint. I know because I've just finished Sean's 30 Guardians. By finished, I mean the bases are done and I can glue them on. And never again will I ever paint yellow.
Oh, so I was going to do for some of my new stuff. Yes, that was a joke. I know I'm bad at jokes, but.
Let's have a look. We've got Marley. Hey man. It was all painted washes were added once the base coats were applied and blended in. Absolutely outstanding workload, Jez. Dylan, you didn't post any work this week. Dylan says he hopes you're feeling better as well.
Oh, thank you. I finally am.
Yeah. And then we've got Rick as well. Evening, Rick. Hope you are well. And then let's move on. We've got Shane Sanderson. Last week when I put my AdMech regrettably up for sale, Shane was like, Harry, I'll swap you for an Ultramarine army. And I'm like, nope. Don't want Ultramarines. Nothing against Ultramarines, just not my cup of tea. I did actually end up selling the AdMech, so the AdMech have gone.
30k AdMech.
30k AdMech. You know what? I absolutely loved them, and it was heartbreaking to sell them. But realistically, I don't play 30k. We've been promised 40k rules for years and years and years for them. Well, I say years. They were supposed to move over last year, and we didn't get them, and it just came to the point where, right, we've been sat in the cupboard for 18 months. They need to go.
Yeah. And it didn't kill him. The earth didn't stop. There wasn't
no
fire rain.
No. Shane's used a very, very similar colour palette to what I used here, and it looks absolutely great, Shane. I did spend the money wisely, though. I've got a few bits and pieces to help upgrade the studio and like set up and rig. Got the new camera.
Chair.
Yes, Lucy has a new chair, so rather than Lucy having this chair and then me sitting on a squeaky stool, Lucy has her own chair now. So that was good news at least. And then the car had to get fixed. Because cars are awesome. Next up, we've got Stephen Dunn, who's been working on some more intercessors. I think these are the auto bolt rifle variants. But nevertheless, Stephen, your red is always so bright and intense, and I absolutely love it. And of course, he's got at least another 7 guys I can see in the background there. Stephen, I don't know why Stephen does this, right? He paints about 2 or 3 Marines at once, right? Rather than like 20 like me.
Right, that's because you're all silly. But his way means he doesn't get sick and fed up when he's halfway through them.
That's true. And you know what, Stephen? It really shows. They look absolutely fantastic, mate. Next up, we've got Stewie Bell. Stewie's been painting some of the miniatures from the Walking Dead All-Out War miniature game.
Oh, wow.
And I'm guessing that's Rick.
That's
it might just be
like Rick.
It's a police uniform or a sheriff uniform. I'm guessing it's just the standardised sheriff, but nevertheless, that's really cool, man.
That is really good.
And then he started another character. I'm guessing this is just like a generic character.
It looks like the doctor, Eugene, with the hair.
Yes, it does actually. And then he's decided to change his colour scheme again for Kill Team. He pinned about 3 or 4 different Marines and was like, yeah, I don't know which one to go with. Decided on which one he was going to go with, and then changed it.
Again.
Yes. But I do like this though, Stewie. It reminds us very much of Tron. So obviously with the black armour plates and then the red highlights around the edges. So I look forward to seeing the full Marine hopefully next week. And next up we've got Stu Force. Stu decided he didn't want to work on the Carrick Acolytes from last week that we started, and decided to paint some Skyfires instead. Can you remember these, Lucy? The Zinc Skyfires. Oh. Very, very brutal. And last year when you played Steve from Newcastle Warlords, I think the Skyfires were very underpointed. They went up last year and then have gone up again in points this year again. But nevertheless, I look forward to seeing what you do with these. Nice and bright colours, 2 gold discs and a pink disc. Obviously the 3 blue guys and then the 3 green spirits underneath. So I look forward to seeing them. And then he's decided to paint 20 Zangors. Still, I do love a lot of the new miniatures that Games Workshop are releasing.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very detailed. I mean, Justin was actually talking about the Stormcast as well. When you look at Liberators, Judicators, Paladins, they're nice, right? But realistically, although they came out 3 years ago, they were probably sculpted 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the new Sacrosanct Chamber stuff, the level of detail on them,
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And you leave, say it took you twice as long to paint 5 Sequitors as it did 5 Liberators, didn't it?
But I enjoyed it so much more.
Because there's variation rather than just all plain armour. But I feel your pain painting 20 of these, Stu, because like I said earlier, we did 40 Blood Reavers and it was a killer. Next up, we've got Tom Downs, and Tom's been working on his bolt action stuff. Absolutely love the grass and the bright colours that you've got going on here. And the grey Tom, absolutely brilliant. It's very bright, but realistic at the same time. And I absolutely love it. Tom's been incredibly busy because he's also built this. I'm really sorry, I don't know what it is. I don't follow bolt action. But then he's also built an office set and getting him painted up as well. And that is everything for this week, folks. That's what everybody has shown. The Belligerent Duck, hi Harry, hi Lucy. Thought I'd say hello. It's Philip.
Hiya.
It's Philip from Austria.
Oh, hiya.
Been ill, had a fall, missed the cut off, sent Lucy a pic of work I've done on my fire stairs. Oh, I hope you feel better, Dylan. Stewie says, aye, that is Rick. That was the Rick model. And Mark Burton says, I painted 80 World War II Soviet infantry in one batch about 3 years ago. Painted none of the infantry since. I should have painted in smaller batches. It killed me doing them. Yeah. I also painted 60 Dryads in one go.
And thanks to Liam, he'll be getting another 30 soon to paint.
Furious George, just thought I'd give a shout out to Harry. It's positivity towards a hobby like this that makes me proud to be a wargamer. Oh man, thank you so much. We're going to call it there because obviously we're already at 32 minutes, which is long for a League of Artisans video. But before I go, I do want to give a shout out to Hob Underhill from Grimdark Live. I took part in his podcast on Friday. Absolutely fantastic guy. And I did share the link off his Facebook page. But if you're interested in podcasts and just really cool guys talking Age of Sigmar, go and check out his podcast. It is pretty cool. But without further ado, I think we're going to call it a night. Yeah. No more painting from us. I've got a busy week because I'm playing Ali tomorrow, Dark Eldar versus Imperial Guard. I'm playing Bryn on Thursday. Hopefully Daughters of Cain versus Idnek Deepkin. And on Friday, it's the Kill Team night. And then on Sunday, it's Craig's birthday bash kind of thing at Battle Bunker, where we're hoping to get as many people down as possible to have some games of 40k. But that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to everybody who has supported the channel. And a double thank you to, of course, all of the Patreons. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.